G'day everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Endeavours for the 24th of September, Wednesday. This set's pretty good. As always, timecodes in the description if you want to skip ahead. You know how it is. The set today, I would go treasure chests, beasts, and then runestones. Visions is okay, but award medals I wouldn't even look at. This one, while if you are good at Battlegrounds, it's not too bad. But if you're good at Battlegrounds, you're probably good enough to do these really quickly. And if you're not good enough for Battlegrounds, just fucking do these anyway, right? I just never see a point doing this over these other options. Because you don't need to wait for people with this one. With these ones here, you have to for this one. So yeah, my advice is just don't bother with this. And Visions, it will be slower than these other options. But sometimes getting Runestones can take a while. So maybe this one might be quicker, but usually getting Runestones is going to be quicker by far. And yeah, these two are just so much better. I'll still go through this one at the end, but yeah, I do think this is not that worth trying. Okay, so I'll start with Beasts. They're all over the shop. Bloodborne. There's like, I'll go through some places that I know of that you can look at. I usually go dungeon, but there are a lot of places in Overland that are pretty easy to get to, that you can find beasts all over the place, all over the shop. The Infinite Archive is, I guess, another option. You will likely kill some beasts by the time you get to 2 visions in the Infinite Archive, but again, it's chance. It's not a guarantee. So yeah, my advice is just kill some beasts in Overland somewhere. So probably the quickest wrong button. Probably the quickest to get to in the game, if you haven't unlocked any wayshrines anywhere else. Crow's Wood's pretty easy to get to. Just come down here, over the wall here, and you can just head in here. Over the bridge, as soon as you get inside, there's a bunch of wolves. But most of the trainee zones have a bunch of beast type enemies. Like for example, in Stros Mackay, that's why I'm here. There are actually wolves up here. So we'll just aggro this wolf, aggro this wolf. And the wolves in Overland are super duper weak. They're very quick to kill. So yeah, you can just find a bunch of these in a bunch of places in the trainee zone. So Stros Mackay, you'll find them in Bethsark. They're also like all over just around places too. You can also find them in Betnik. It's another one of the trainee zones. God damn, I'm trying to click on the bloody zone itself. There we go. So Carved Hills, they're all over the place over here. In Oridon, around Shattered Grove, there are bears and wolves as well. It's pretty easy to get here, especially if you have Skywatch Wayshrine. If not, just use Barbed Hook through Home Tours. Yeah, pretty straightforward. So the option that I use though is Wayrestores 1, and while I do, it is a dungeon. I still don't think it's worth just doing that over just killing the beast in the first room and then going and doing Fungal Grotto 1, because that's quicker. The only thing about Fungal Grotto 1 is there's no beast in that dungeon, so you're not going to get that done through that one, unfortunately. But if you want to do Wayrestores 1 instead and do the whole thing, that is another option. But yeah, don't really recommend that. Okay, so immediately when you get inside of Wayrestores 1, there is a group of 5 skivers in this little spot right here. There are lots more skivers around, but you don't need all of them. It's just those 5 there, and that's more than enough. So, Wayrestores 1 is in Wayrest. You can either get here via the boatswains in Glenumbra, or you can travel to somebody else's house, gardener house, or if you can use your own if you have it. You just can't use the preview, because it doesn't actually take you to Wayrest when you leave. So yeah, just use Home Tours, go browse homes here, and just go down to Gardener House over here. Just travel there, go out the door, and then you'll rock up in Wayrest, and it's easy from there. It's a little bit of a trip. It's like a minute long. Alright, so now I'm going to discuss Runestones. This here is a Runestone. The good thing about Runestones, as opposed to some of the other like material gathering endeavors, every Runestone looks exactly the same, so you know what you're looking for every single time. The easiest thing that you'll usually, or the first thing that you'll usually spot from the distance, is the little orange tint on the floor. That and the little orange flame in here. Yeah, try and keep an eye out for those. That generally shows you where they are in the distance. Also, this add-on, this is HarvestMap. It does take a little bit of, like, you need to collect runestones for them to show up here. You can get something called Harvest Merge that loads up other people's essentially saved for the add-on, but I haven't really gotten that to work much myself. But yeah, eventually you can just, every runestone that you found, it'll show up. If not though, if you want, I'll just remove the Wayshine's objectives, and you can just take a look at this if you want. Just screenshot this, or just like pause it now and have a look. Yeah, these are most of the runestones in Craglorn. There's definitely more, but yeah, there's a lot of them that you can have a look at. Yeah, you can see, that's what I mean. You can just see the tint in the background from quite far away. Yeah, there's 4 so far. It's only been a few minutes. So you can get this one done very quickly, but it's a little bit feast or famine. Sometimes you can come through, go to all these spots and just not find anything. I would advise you try Craglorn if you want to get your runestones. Even though you can't get Nocrux from runestones, they're just... the area that you'll find them is so dense around here. Like, there's just so many in like small areas. Like, that being said though, every zone's fine for this. You basically just run in a straight line. Eventually you'll find some runestones littered around the place. Just, yeah, try and find zones that are like with less trees. I find is better, just because you can see the orange glow from further away. Also, try not to go to Deadlands, because with the Deadlands, everything's like that same tint. I'll also mention surveys. So if you do Enchanter Writs and you get surveys, you can do a single Enchanter survey that'll give you 6 nodes. So single survey is all you need to complete the endeavor as well. If it's your last survey though, my advice is hold on to it, because there are survey endeavors that come up in the dailies. I haven't seen them in the weeklies, to be honest. They might show up there. I don't know. But yeah, just hold on to a couple at a time, just in case you get them in the endeavors. If you got lots though, just go nuts, because yeah, they can be very quick to get this one done as well. Yeah. Next up, treasure chest. So you can find treasure chests in the overland, but I try not to use that method because it can be a bit sporadic. My 2 methods are dolmens, firstly, and public dungeons is my second method. I will also mention, if you are going to do heists this time for the weekly, heists have... one of the options for heists is just looting treasure chests, so you can also get them there. But the only issue is sometimes you get the bags of jewelry versions of heists, and they won't have chests in them. So yeah, sometimes that can be bit weird. You can also get safe boxes, but again, just like regular treasure chests, they can be a bit unreliable. So yeah, anytime I do this, I always go dolmens or I go public dungeon. I'll show you why. Every time you complete a dolmen, regardless of if you're the one who hits this pinion or not, you always get a chest. Everybody can loot this chest, and after that, you just go to the Wayshrine, go to the next dolmen, it'll be up in 30 seconds. So it's a very quick way to get a bunch of treasure chests quickly. Because, yeah, there's not even any lockpicking required. So, yeah, pretty easy method, that one. It's just getting access to dolmens sometimes, if you don't have those already. That can take a little bit of a trek. But once you got them, it's easy from that point. Dolmens in Oridon are good. They're all located next to a Wayshrine. The ones in Alika Desert are also great. This is usually where everybody goes. So you can actually usually come here, ask for an invite into, like, dolmen groups, and then you can just follow them around, travel to them, and they take you to all the Wayshrines. Wayshrines here, here, and here. And yeah, really easy from here. Deshawn's also good too, because the Wayshrines are pretty close, and you also get Mother Sorrow here, which is a really good stat. Another option is using public dungeons. Because the chests in public dungeons are not related to the ones in, like, they don't share the spawns as zone ones, there's always a bunch of chests that come up in public dungeons, like, all the time. So it's very easy to find a bunch in here quickly, you just need to know the locations. Now, as luck would have it, I've got 4 public dungeons that I've basically scoured through for ages and found all the chest locations in. So I'll link the 4 of these in the description if you want to have a look. They're just like Imgur images that you can have a look at. So there's this one, Forgotten Crypt in Deshaan. It's over here. This one's good because it gives you Mother's Sorrow. You've also got in Western Skyrim, Labyrinthian. It's also great, and it gives you Venomous, which is a good set. Riven's Fire, Obsidian Scar, really small public dungeon. It's, like, well, it's almost like a delve, but there's so many chest locations. This gives you Darkscribe, which is also a set that I like to use a lot. And then the last one is Bankrai, Rezek's Wheel. This one gives you a lead for the Ring of the Pale Order, which if you've got Greymore into Markarth as DLCs, getting access to that mythic is like, it's one of the best in the game. So, well, for solo build, it's like, it is really, really good for like autonomous healing. So basically just never have to worry about healing usually when you use that. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, with all these locations for chests, I just advise coming through here and just having a look at all of them. Just run through and have a look at all the spots. And let me see if I can, how long it takes me to find one. Yeah, the main issue with this one, and why sometimes it can be a hassle as opposed to Dolmen's, is in this place, it's all public. So other people will be running around here looking for chests too. So if they get to one before you, they take it. Nothing you can do about that. And there we go, so we found one. But yeah, if I come through, I'll just see if I can find any other ones. Just for other people's reference sake. Oops. Alright, there's one there. So, that's another chest. See if this one here. Nope. Over here. Nope. 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 Or is that one there? No. Another one there. Oh, it's been looted. The good thing about chests is, if other people take some of the content, but don't take all of it, if you just go and loot the rest of it, it still counts. Because you actually have to loot all of the contents for it to count as the endeavor. It does suck. I hate people who do that, because they just take the good stuff and just leave all the shit behind, but yeah. That's public games for you. So, with treasure chests, with the visions being another one of the options today, every time you get a vision, you'll also get a chest with the Munimate chest when you beat a boss. So, if you want to do these two together today, you can. But I still reckon these will just be quicker. But yeah, this one won't be too bad actually, now that I've realized you also get chests. Alright, now talking about visions in the Infinite Archive. It can be found here in the Apocrypha DLC, Apocrypha Zone, the Necrom DLC. Even though it's found here, it is base game, so everybody's got access to this. That's the one good thing about it. So just travel here via the Way Shrine. Any Way Shrine in the game, you unlock this by default, so yeah. Right, so Infinite Archive can be done solo or as a pair. So if you have a friend who wants to do endeavors too, you can both do this at the same time. Makes it a lot easier, I find. But yeah, it is possible to solo, and usually the first arc is pretty chill. Now you can grab the quest if you want, the daily quest, but if you just want to do two visions, you're not going to get to the point in which you complete the quest. Just keep that in mind. But if you like Infinite Archive and you want to keep going and get that quest, it's pretty good. It gives you some good stuff, so yeah. Right, starting Infinite Archive, you just enter this dark circle. It starts the first wave, and so it'll be two of these waves, and then it'll be a boss, and the boss is what gives you the vision. The cycle. So these stages here, they have 3 groups of enemies, so you just gotta wade through these groups here, and then you'll get a power up afterwards. This is group 2. And now the third wave will spawn. Usually it has like a tougher enemy, so you can see a Lich over here. Usually I like to kill the little enemies first, because yeah, I find the little enemies give me more trouble than a single big enemy. But some of these big enemies can be annoying. Like Liches are usually one that can be a pain in the ass to deal with. Ah. Easy done. Now we get a verse. So every time you complete a stage, you get a verse. Some of these can be very powerful. Some, like Guild Superiority, I think this one's quite shit. But yeah, it's just luck of the draw there. Some of them can be really powerful. Like some of the offensive ones can do shit tons of damage. In the early stages, and the early cycles, I suppose, you want ones that give you damage. Because usually it's not difficult to survive in the early stages. And, you know, you want to get this done as quick as possible, right? Right, so whenever you see that big ring of fire, kill the person in the middle causing it. Because they are not shielded, everybody else is. So it's not really worth going for anybody else. And you can stand, oddly enough, you can stand inside the ring and it doesn't do that much damage. Okay, oh god, fucking Wraith of Crows. I hate these things. Probably the worst of the big enemies. So this is one of the few that I actually focus. for this reason here. There he goes. All done. Now, usually I focus the fire mages and the archers. Just keep in mind, with the groups of enemies, always try to stick to a ranged enemy, because they're the ones who will run away from you. The melee enemies will chase you around. So it's easier to corral the melee enemies, because you literally just, yeah, you just need to bring them to where they want to go. So, yeah. Augmented areas, this is pretty good. This will be a good one for the next one. Yeah, like I said, some of the verses can be really good. This one just increases the damage of all my AoE skills, so yeah, I'll be able to use... oh yeah, I'll damage it up using my runner build. Alright, so this is the first vision area. So this is a cycle, so you get a boss instead of just a bunch of little enemies. So beat the boss, you'll get a power-up called a vision. It's basically just a verse, but it lasts the whole arena. Usually verses are stronger, but yeah, because they last less time, yeah, they're not as valuable. You want to be a little more choosy with your visions, because they're more impactful later on. Okay, easy. Yeah, there's the extra treasure chests as well if you want to do it that way. Muniment chests they give you some infinite archival fortunes, which is the currency that you use in Infinite Archive. So if you want to get stuff through the stores there, that's how you do it. You got to do the visions, and you also do the quests that gives you 500. So that's why it's good sometimes to do the quests. Okay, so these are what you get for the endeavor. So these are the visions. So you want to be a bit careful about which one you get. Some of these, they can be very random. Like Persistent Pain, it's not very good for me because I don't do much martial damage. This one's pretty good though. It's basically just a proc set. See, I'll go this one. And then we just go further. So, we'll delve in more. Group 2. Sometimes you'll get these wacky groups of large Daedra, the Daedrus and the Ogrims. The Ogrims charge ahead and knock you over. The Daedrus just hit you from afar, which is kind of weird. Because Daedrus are supposed to be big, bulky dudes who slap you. Alright, big enemy here. More Ogrims. Now, Ogrims actually count as bestial Daedra, but they don't count as beasts as far as I'm aware, which is weird. Yeah, welcome to ESO. Alright, another verse. Beatdown. Yeah. Let's be unkillable. Big one down, mage down, other guy down. Easy. That's stage 2 done. What verse have we got now? Oh, another augmented areas. Awesome. Okay, so looks like I got very lucky here. Managed to get the Pilferer. So this guy here, if you manage to kill him before he leaves, you get a bunch of fortunes. So kill this guy if you can. I don't see him very often though, so I'm not used to this. Fucking took me by surprise. So if anyone remembers, this is the guy from Blackwood that summons the Phoroplasms for the Amorphous Foes endeavor. Yeah, fun. Alright, so just make sure you loot Gwa, because he gives you some good stuff. You won't see him very often though. Grab our Muniment chest for some more, and then our vision. Yeah, it doesn't... If you just want to get the vision and leave, doesn't really matter here, but yeah, you just want to be a bit mindful. Probably crowd control, because it also gives you the stain, which is good. Okay, so if you want to leave, once you've done that, because now that the vision is done, what you do is you go to the next stage. Instead of entering the GUI circle, go to the index over here, and this will bring you out of Infinite Archive. And from here, you just go downstairs here, and the portal's over here. So you hit the portal, and that'll bring you back out. Alright, that's everything daily related. If you got any questions, give me a holler as always. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time. Take care for now.